One of my favorite times of year is Middle Grade March. I love this readathon that the gals over at Middle Grade March, Krista, Katie, and Amanda do. It's just a really fun readathon that they have a group read. They have 2 group reads this year, and then they also have 5 prompts. And I interviewed them last year on the video podcast, so check out that interview. And what I wanted to do today was I came up with a list of 12 book ideas for each of the prompts. Today's prompt that I want to talk about is the book by an author with 3 names. So I had a lot of fun looking these up because some of them, it just didn't come right to my mind immediately. The First State of Being by Erin Entrada Kelly. So this actually just barely won the Newbery Medal, and it is such a good book. I read it at the end of last year. It's about this boy and this girl in this apartment complex, and this boys are really stressed about Y2K. So this happened some time ago in 1999. And this other character shows up and he's from the future, and it's this really unique interaction that they're having together, and it's just phenomenal writing, and I love the way it all comes together in the end, and just these little elements, they're just so much fun. It is an excellent book, well worth the Newbery. All right, the next is a series called Summer of L.U.C. by Laura Segel Stegman, and it is a really fun series where it's these 3 kids that are at summer camp, and they each have a reason that they are not speaking. They're not using their voice at all. One has a speech impediment, one has, English is not his first language, and then one has had issues that have just caused him not to want to talk. Well, these 3 are all of a sudden able to communicate mentally, and it's just amazing, these connections that they make. There's 3 books in the series, a really fun, magical book series that I just love so much. So then by Jennifer Chambliss Bertman is the book Scavenger. And this, what an incredible book series for anybody who loves books. It's about this company that has this kind of scavenger hunt that on this blog, different people go and they hide a book. And you leave clues to help people find the book. And so it's really fun to get on and try to figure out where are these clues going to lead me to find the book. And then you go back on and say when you found it, or you claim that you're looking for it. And that in itself is a lot of fun. But then there's this new mystery. What happened to the creator of this, and why is he missing? And these kids trying to figure out what is going on there. Next we have Iveliz Explains It All by Andrea, Beatriz, Arango. I really hope I said both right. This one was recommended for me, and it sounds amazing. All right, it is a novel in verse, and I am just falling in love with those over the last year, about this girl where she's going to take on 7th grade, and she has a plan. And then, of course, it doesn't all go right. And then her grandma, who has just recently moved to live with them from Puerto Rico, she's just skeptical of her really needing the medication that she's on. And it's a lot about her own mental health challenges and finding her voice and her identity. And I am just really excited to check it out. Oh, and it also has flowers on the cover. A lot of these books could work for multiple of the prompts. The next we have The Last Cuentista by Donna, Barba, Higuera. Again, I hope I say that right. This book sounds amazing. I think it is one that I am going to listen to for one of my middle grade March books. So this girl really wants to be this storyteller just like her grandma. Well, what's going on for all these people is this group of people have been chosen to be the last survivors from Earth, and humanity has been sent to find another place that they can settle, another planet or something. Fast forward hundreds of years later, and just things did not go as expected. She's the only one that remembers anything about their experiences on Earth. And so somebody has been sabotaging memories and people just in general, and can she stand up to all of this that is going on and figure out what is going on? Oh my gosh, it sounds incredible, right up my alley. So one of my very favorite authors is Margaret Peterson Haddix, and let me just grab a couple of books by Haddix. So let's see what we've got here. The School of Whatnots, phenomenal. The Stranger's Greystone Secrets is a series, so you could use that for the series. This is one of my favorite series, and it's a little bit older, and it's called The Missing. The first one is Found, and it's one that you should just read, not knowing anything about it, because you find out pretty quick early on, but it's just so fun to find that out and not have it told to you what the premise is. But some fun historical fiction going on, and these kids interacting with each other and figuring out a mystery. It's great. I love Margaret Peterson Haddix. One of my favorite by her is a historical fiction called Uprising. She has so many out. You could do one from the 1900s because she has had an amazing career in writing, and she is still writing more coming out right now. So just out this year is Radiant, an amazing historical fiction novel in verse by Vaunda Micheaux Nelson. Again, I would love to learn how to say these names correctly. So this girl is growing up at a time where they're just had fairly recently started having Black children and white children go to school together, and she is one of a very small group of Black children at this school, and it's about her experiences and her experiences with her family and feelings and her wanting to be her best self, to just shine. And so it's just phenomenal. Phenomenal writing. Loved it. All right, next we have Hum by David William Thomas. It just it makes me keep thinking of tell me where the talking llama is from Emperor's New Groove, but it's not really like that. But there is a llama, and it's communicating with a boy and his abilities to communicate with the llama. So the llama that you read about doesn't feature as quickly in the book as I thought it would. But this boy is relocated to a mountain setting, and he's discovering hiking and interacting with these other characters and making new friends. And then he also discovers finding old memories and interacting with this llama. And it's just really, really a fun adventure. And almost that it's like, is this realistic fiction or is this fantasy? And so it was fun to read the author's notes at the end about llamas and their way to communicate with each other. So one of my favorite books, that it is just a book that I did not realize it was missing for me until I read it, is Safiyyah's War by Hiba Noor Khan. It is this amazing story about this Muslim girl during World War II and her just realizing that this is just not right in Paris when the Nazis come and are taking over, and them trying to do their part at their mosque for the people and just, you know, stand up in their own way for what is right and what they believe in, even at risk to, you know, themselves being different and borderline being about to be persecuted as well. It is just, oh my gosh, one of the most incredible books that I have ever read. It will be a favorite forever. The Winterton Deception by Janet Sumner Johnson is this really fun mystery, and it's kind of incredible because it's so niche. The first book in the series is about a spelling bee, and then the second one is also about family competition, but these kids who are really, really poor, they find out that they're related to this really wealthy family from their dad who had passed away years ago, who they never met, and it's just an intense, high-stakes mystery and just so much fun. All right, another historical fiction, World War II, is called The Night War by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley, and it's about this girl who is relocated for her safety, been separated from her parents, and she's now, and she's got to pretend to be a Christian, and she doesn't feel good about that. She wants to really reclaim her Jewish heritage, and she wants to get away from this and go and find safety and find her family, and it's just a really fun, intense historical fiction with a little bit of fantasy mixed in. So I just started pulling some books off my shelf to be like, does this author have 3 names? Oh, okay, no, next one. So Kristin O'Donnell Tubb. This is one that we started reading with my kids, and it's called The Decomposition of Jack. I love what Haddix says about it, that this book is disgusting, and I mean that as a compliment, because my boys are so into the gross factor, just that ick, and so I am really loving this reading. I hope that gave you some good ideas for what you want to read for a book by an author with 3 names, and tell me which book that you are reading for middle grade March. If you enjoyed this video, take a second, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back and keep getting more great book recommendations for the kids in your life.